alike in dignity, in fair Verona, where we lay our scene, from ancient grudge, break to new mutiny, where civil blood makes civil hands unclean. From forth the fatal loins of these two foes, pair of star-crossed lovers take their life, whose misadventured, piteous overthrows do, with their death, bury their parents' strife. The fearful passage of their death-marked love, and the continuance of their parents' rage, which but their children's end naught could remove, is now the 2 hours' traffic of our stage. The which, if you with patient ears attend, what here shall miss, our toil shall strive to mend.
Gregory, on my word, we shall not carry gold.
No, well then we should be colliers.
I mean, and if we be in collar, we'll draw.
While we live, joy and that kind of
I strike quickly, being moved.
but thou art not quickly moved to strike.
A dog of the house of Montague will say.
All right, well here comes two of the house of Montague.
My naked weapon is out. Quarrel, I will back thee.
What, turn thy back and run?
Do ye?
Nay, think. I prithee.
Let us take the law on our side. Let them be.
I will frown as I pass by and let them take it as they list.
Dead! I say dead. I will bite my thumb at them, which is a disgrace to them if they beg.
Do you bite your thumb at us, sir?
I do bite my thumb, sir.
Do you bite your thumb at us, sir?
Is law on our side if I say aye?
No.
No! I do not bite my thumb at you, sir. But I do bite my thumb, sir.
Do you quarrel, sir?
Quarrel, sir. No, sir.
You do, sir. I am for you. I serve as good a man as you.
No better?
Well, sir.
Nay, say better. Here comes one of my master's kinsmen.
Yes! Better, sir.
Lie.
Go off, you be man! Gregory, remember my swashing blow.
Your swords, you know not what you do!
Good.
Oh!
Art thou drawn amongst these hopeless times? Turn thee, Benvolio, and look upon thy death.
I do, but keep the peace. Put up thy sword, or manage it to part these my head.
What? Drawn and talk of peace. I hate the word, as I hate hell, all Montagues, and thee. And that coward.
What is this? Oh, give me my long sword, help! Oh, now what Montague is come?
Thou villain, Capulet! Hold me not! Hold me go!
Rebellious subjects, enemies to peace, profaners of this member-stained steel. Will they not hear? What? Ho! You men, you beasts! On pain of torture from those bloody hands, throw your mistempered weapons to the ground. And hear the sentence of your moving prince. 3 civil brawls, preliminary word by thee, old Capulet, and Montague, have thrice disturbed the quiet of our streets. If ever you disturb our streets again, your lives shall pay the forfeit of the peace. Capulet, come you with me. Montague, come you this afternoon to know our further pleasure in this case. On pain of death, all men depart.
set this ancient quarrel to a broach? Speak, nephew. Were you by when it began?
Here were the servants of your adversary and yours close fighting ere I did approach. I drew to part them. In the instant came the fiery Tybalt, with his sword prepared. While we were interchanging thrusts and blows, came more fought on part and part, till the prince came to part we the part.
Oh, where is Romeo? Saw you here today? Right glad I am he was not at this fray.
An hour before the worship's sun peered forth the golden window of the east, troubled mind drove me to walk abroad. So early walking did I see your son. Towards him I made, but he was ware of me and stole into the cover of the wood. I, judging his affections by my own, which were most busy when I most alone, pursued my humor, not pursuing his, and gladly shunned and gladly fled from him.
Many a morning hath he there conceived, with tears augmenting the fresh morning dew, adding to clouds more clouds with his deep sighs. But all so soon as the all-cheering sun should in the furthest east begin to draw the shady curtains from Aurora's bed. Away home steals my heavy son, and private in his chamber pens himself, shuts up his windows, locks fair daylight out, and makes himself an artificial night. Black and portentous must this humour prove, unless good counsel may this cause remove.
My noble uncle, do you know the cause?
I neither know nor can learn of him.
Well, have you importuned him by any means?
Both by myself and many other friends, but he, his own affection's counselor, is to himself. I'll not say how true, but to himself, so secret and so close, so far from sounding and discovery as is the bud bit with an envious worm. Ere he could spread his sweet leaves to the air or dedicate his beauty to the sun. Could we learn from whence the sorrows grow, we would as willingly give cure as no.
See, where he comes, so please you step aside. I'll know his grievance or be much denied.
I would thou wert so happy by thy stay to hear true shrift. Come, madam, that's the way.
Good morrow, cause.
Is the day so young?
Oh, but news struck not.
Ay me. Sad hours seem long.
Was that my father that went hence so fast?
It was. What sadness lengthens Romeo's hours,
Not having that which having makes them short.
In love?
Out!
Of love!
Out of her favor where I'm in love.
Oh, alas, that love, so gentle in his view, should be so tyrannous and rough and broken.
Alas, that love, whose view is muffled still, should, without eyes, see pathways to his will. Oh. Where shall we dine?
What fray was here? Yet tell me not, for I have heard it all.
Here's much to do with hate, but more with love.
Misshapen chaos of well-seeming forms. Feather of lead, bright smoke, cold fire, sick health, still waking sleep, that is not what it is. This love feel I, and feel no love in this. Dost thou not laugh?
No, cuz, I'd rather weep.
Good-hearted what?
Thy good heart's oppression.
Oh. Why, such is love's transgression.
Griefs of my own lie heavy in my breast, which thou wilt propagate to have it pressed with more of thine. This love that thou hast shown doth add much grief to too much of my own. Oh, love is a smoke raised with a fume of sighs. Being purged, fire sparkling in lovers' eyes. Being vexed, a scene nourished with lovers' tears. And what is it else? A madness most discreet, a choking gall, and a preserving sweet. Farewell, my
Oh, soft! I will go along, and if you leave me so, you do me wrong.
Tut, I have lost myself. I am not here. This is not Romeo. He is some other where.
Tell me in sadness, it is that you love.
What? Shall I groan and tell thee?
Groan? No, but sadly, tell me who.
In sadness, cousin.
You love a woman.
I aimed so near when I supposed you loved.
Huh. All right, good marksman. And she's fair, I love.
Ooh, right fair mark fair, cuz it's soonest hit.
Well, on that hit you miss. She will not be hit by Cupid's arrow. She hath done hands with. And in strong proof of chastity well armed. From love's weak childish bow, she lives unharmed. Oh, she is rich in beauty. Only poor that when she dies, beauty dies her store.
Then she hath sworn she will still live chaste.
She hath.
Oh.
And in that sparing meets huge waste. For beauty, starved with her severity, cuts beauty off from all posterity. Oh, she is too wise. She is too fair. She is wisely too fair to merit bliss by making me despair. She hath forsworn to love, and in that vow do I live, dead that live to tell it now.
Don't be ruled by me. Forget to think of it.
Oh. Teach me how I should forget to think.
By giving liberty unto thine eyes, examine other beauties.
'Tis the way to call hers exquisite. In question more. He that is struck in blind cannot forget the precious treasure of his eyesight lost. Show me a mistress who is passing fair. And what doth her love show? But as a note where I may read who passed that passing fair. Farewell, my cuz. Thou canst not teach me to forget.
Nah, I will pay that doctrine, or else die in debt.
Oh?
But Montague is bound as well as I in penalty alike. 'Tis not hard, I think, for men so old as we to keep the peace.
A vulnerable reckoning are you both. And pity 'tis you lived at odds for so long. Now, my lord, what say you to my suit?
Saying all what I have said before. My child is yet a stranger in the world. She hath not yet seen a change of 14 years. Let 2 more summers wither in their pride, and they think it right to be a bride.
Younger than she, our happy mother's maid.
And too soon marred are those so early made. The earth had swallowed all my hopes, but she is the hopeful lady of my earth. But woo her, gentle Paris, get her heart. My will to her consent is but a part, and she agree within her scope of choice lies my consent in their according voice. This night I hold an old accustomed feast, whereto I've invited many a guest such as I love, and you, among the store one more most welcome, makes my number more. At my poor house look to behold this night, earth, triple stars that make dark heaven light. Hear all see, and like her most, whose married shall be, of which are more few of many, mine being one may stand in number, though in reckoning none. Come, go with me. I Go, sirrah! Trudge about through fair Verona, and find those persons out whose names are written there, and to them say, my house and welcome on their pleasure stay.
Find them out whose names are written here. It is written that the shoemaker should meddle with his yard, and the tailor with his glass, the fisher with his pencil, and the painter with his nets. But I am sent to find those names who are here written. Can never find what names the writing person hath here written. I must have learned. Ooh! Ooh! Hey, good time. What? Man! One fire burns with another's burning. One pain is lessened by another's anguish. Turn, giddy, and be helped by backward turning. One desperate grief is cured with another's languish. Take thou some new infection to thy eye, and the rank poison of the old will die.
Your plantain leaf was excellent for that.
For what, I pray thee?
Your broken shin.
Mad!
Not mad, but bound more than a madman is, shut up in prison, kept without my food, tenuous fellow.
Good in. I pray, sir, can you read?
Aye, my own misfortune and my misery.
Perhaps you've learned it but not the book. Can you read anything you see?
Aye, if I know the letters and the language.
They say honestly, rest you merry.
Oh, stay, good fellow, I can read. Signor Martino and his wife and daughters. County Anselm and his beauteous sisters. The lady widow of Vitrevio, Signor Placentio and his lovely nieces. Oh, Mercutio and his brother Valentine. My uncle Capulet, his wife and daughters. My fair niece Rosaline. Olivia, Signor Valentino and his cousin Tybalt. Lucio and the lively Helen. A fair assembly, whither should they come? Whither?
To our house, to supper.
Whose house?
My master's.
I should have asked you that before.
Now I tell you without asking. My master is good rich Capulet, and if you be not at the house of Montagues, I pray, come crush a cup of wine with us. Rest you merry.
At this same ancient feast of Capulets, sups the fair Rosaline thou so loves, with all the admired beauties of Verona. Go thither, and with unattained eye, compare her face to some that I will show, and I will make thee think thy swan a crow.
If the devout religion of mine eye maintains such falsehood, turn tears to fire, and these two often drowned but never died, transparent heretics, be burnt for liars. One fairer than my love? The all-seeing sun never saw her match since first the world began.
Tut, you saw her fair, none else being by. Herself, poised with, herself in either eye. But in that crystal scales, let there be weighed your lady's love against some other maid that I will show you shining at this feast. And she shall scan show well, but now shows best.
Oh, I will go along. No such sight to be shown, but to rejoice in splendor of mine own.
My maiden head at 12 years old, I bade her come. What lash! What pretty bird! God forbid it's this girl. You, Juliet!
How now?
Of course, your mother.
Madam, I'm here. What is your will?
This is the matter.
Give leave a while. We must talk in secret. Nurse, come back again. I've remembered me. Thou hears our counsel. Thou knowest my daughter's of a pretty age.
Faith, I can tell her age unto an hour.
She's not 14.
Oh, I'll be 14 of my teeth, and to my teen be it spoken. I have but 4. She is not yet 14. How long is it now till Lammastide?
Fortnight, not days.
What's even around all the days of the year? Come Lammastide, at night shall she be 14. That's now 11 years since the great earthquake, and she was weaned. By then she could stand. Nay, by the moon she could walk and waddled all about. Only the day before she broke her brow. And my husband, God rest his soul, took up the child. Yea, quoth he, false thou upon thy face, thou wilt fall backwards when thou hast more wit, wilt thou not do? And not to my holiday, the pretty wretch left crying and said, I shall never forget it. Wouldst thou not do? And instinctive, and said,
Enough of this, I pray thee, hold thy peace.
Peace I have done. God mark thee to his grace. Thou was the prettiest babe that e'er I nursed. And if I should live to see and once I shall have my wish.
Marry. That marry is exactly the theme I come to speak of.
Tell me, daughter Juliet, how stands your disposition to be married?
It is an honor that I dream not of.
Oh, an honor! Oh, if I had not been thine only nurse, I would say that thou hadst wisdom from thy teeth.
Well, think of it now. Younger than you, here in Verona, why, ladies of esteem are already made lovers. By my count, I was a mother much upon these years that you are now a maid. Thus, then in brief, the valiant Paris seeks you as his lord!
Lady, such a man! Oh, why, he's a man of wax.
Rosella had not such a flower.
You know, the flower. Oh, a very flower.
I must say, you, can you love the gentleman? Tonight, you shall behold him at our feast. Read over the volume of young Paris's face and find beauty writ with delight's pen. Speak briefly. Can you like of Paris's love? I'll look to like, if looking liking move, but no more in dark mine eye than your consent gives strength to make it fly.
The guests are come, supper is served up. You called, my young lady asked for. The nurse goes to the pantry. And everything in extremity. I must hence away. I beseech you, follow straight.
We follow thee. Juliet, the county stays.
Go, girl. See happy nights, do happy days.
What? Shall this speech be spoke for our excuse, or shall we on without an...
The date is out of such prolixity. We'll have no Cupid hoodwinked with a scarf, bearing a Tartar's painted bow of lath, scaring the ladies like a crow-keeper. No without book prologue, faintly struck after the prompter for our entrance. But let them measure us by what they will. We'll measure them a measure and be gone.
Give me a torch. I am not for this ambling. Being but heavy, I will bear the light.
Nay! Gentle Romeo, we must have you dance!
Not I, believe me. You have dancing shoes with nimble souls. I have a soul of lead, so stakes me to the ground, I cannot move.
You are a lover! Borrow Cupid's wings and soar with them above a common bound.
I am too sore and pierced with his shaft to soar with his light feathers, and so bound. I cannot bound a pitch above dull woe. Their love's heavy burden do I sink.
And to sink in it should you burden love. Too great oppression for a tender thing.
Is love a tender thing? It is too rough. It is too rude. Too boisterous. It pricks like thorn.
Love, be rough with you. Be rough with love. Prick love for prick. And you beat love down. Give me a case to put my visage in. A visor for a visor. What care I with curious eye with, quote, deformities? Here, the beetle brow shall blush for me.
Oh, come, knock and enter, and no sooner in but every man betaken to his legs.
A torch for me. As wantons light of heart tickle the senseless rushes with their heels. For I am proverb with a grandsire phrase. I'll be a candle holder and look on. The game was never so fair, and I am done.
Tut! Done's the mouse, the constable's own word. And if thou art done, will draw thee from the mire of this reverent love, wherein thou stickest up to the ear. Come, we burn daylight. Hooray!
That's not so.
In, sir, in delay. We waste our lights in vain, like lamps by day. Take our good meaning.
And we mean well in going to this mass, but 'tis no whit to go.
Why, may one ask?
I dreamt a dream tonight.
And, so did I.
Well, what was yours?
The dreamers often lie.
In bed asleep, while they do dream things true.
Oh. Then I see Queen Mabb have been with you. She's the fairy's midwife, and she comes in shape no bigger than an agate stone on the forefinger of an alderman, drawn by a team of little acmeys athwart men's noses as they lie asleep. Her wagon spokes, made of long spinner's legs, the cover of the wings of grasshoppers, traces the smallest spider's web, the color of the moonshine's watery beam. Her whip, whoosh, of cricket's bone, the lash of Phil. Her wagoner is a small, gray-coated gnat, not so big as a round little worm, pricked from the lazy finger of a maid. Her chariot is an empty hazelnut made by the joiner's squirrel or old grub. Time out of mind, the fairy's coachmaker. And in this state she gallops, night by night, through lovers' brains, and then they dream of love. Or a courtier's knee that dreams on curtsy straight, or a lawyer's fingers who straight dream on fees, or a lady's lips who straight on kisses dream, which oft the angry Mabb with blisters plagues, because their breasts with sweetmeats tainted are. Sometimes she gallops over a courtier's nose, and then dreams he smelling out a suit. Sometime comes she with a tithe pig's tail, tickling a parson's nose as he lies asleep, and then dreams he of another benefice. Sometime she driveth o'er a soldier's neck, and then dreams he of breeches and muscados, Spanish blades of health 5 fathom deep, anon drums in his ear, and which he starts and wakes, and being thus frighted, swears a prayer or two, and sleeps again. This is the very Mabb that plaits the manes of horses in the night, and bakes the elf oxen foul sluttish hairs, which once untangled much misfortune bodes. This is the hag, when maids lie on their backs, that presses them, and learns them first to bear, making them women of good courage. This is she!
Peace! Peace, good Mercutio. Peace. Thou talkest of nothing.
True, I talk of dreams, which are the children of an idle brain, begot of nothing but vain fantasy, as thin of substance as the air, and more inconstant than the wind.
This wind you talk of, it blows us from ourselves. Supper is done. We shall come too late.
I fear too early. For my mind misgives some consequence, yet hanging in the stars, shall bitterly begin his fearful date with this night's revels, and expire the term of a despised life closed within my breast by some vile forfeit of untimely death. Oh. But he that hath the steerage of my course, direct my sails on lusty gentlemen.
Strike drum!
Welcome, gentlemen. Ladies that have their toes unflaked with corns, will have a bout with you. Ah, my mistresses. Which of you all will now deny the dance?
What lady is that doth enrich the hand of young knight?
I do not, sir.
She doth teach the torches to burn bright. I watch her place of stand, and touching hers make blessed my rude hand. And did my heart love till now, forswear its sight, for I never saw true beauty till this night.
This by his voice should be a Montague. Fetch me my rapier, boy. Oh, what dares this slave come hither covered with an antic face, to fear and scorn at our solemnity? Now by his stock, in honor of my king, to strike him dead. I hold it not a sin.
Why, how now, kinsman? Wherefore storm you so?
Uncle, this is a Montague, our foe. A villain that is hither come in spite to scorn at our solemnity this night.
Young Romeo, is it?
'Tis he, that villain Romeo.
Content thee, gentle cause. Let him alone. He bears himself like a portly gentleman. Oh, and to say truth, Verona brags of him to be a virtuous and well-governed youth. I would not for the wealth of all the town here in my house do him disparagement. Therefore be patient. Take no note of him. It is my will. For which if thou respect, show of their presence, and put off these frowns and ill-beseeming semblance for a feast.
It fits when such a villain is a guest.
Shall be endured. I say he shall. Go to. Am I the master here or you? Oh, go to. Do not endure him. Come, gentlemen, myself, you'll make a mutiny on one of my guests.
Why, uncle, 'tis a shame.
Go to. Go to. You are a saucy boy. Is it so indeed? You must contrary me. My marriage is time. You are a brincox. Go. Be quiet, or more light, for shame. I'll make you quiet. What's cheering my heart?
Patience perforce with willful call meeting makes my flesh tremble in their different greeting. I will withdraw, but this intrusion now seeming sweet shall convert to bitter gall.
I profane with my unworthiest hand this holy shrine, gentle fine as this. My lips, two blushing pilgrims, ready stand to smooth that rough touch with a tender kiss.
Good pilgrim, you do wrong your hand too much, which manly devotion shows in this. For saints have hands that pilgrims' hands do touch, and palm to palm is holy palmer's kiss.
Have not saints' lips and holy palmers too?
I, pilgrim, lips that they must use in prayer.
Then, dear saint, let lips do what hands do. Pray, grant thou, lest faith turn to despair.
Saints do not move, though grant for prayer's sake.
Move not for my prayer's effect I take, lest from my lips by yours the sin is purged.
And have my lips the sin that they have took?
Sin from thy lips. Trespass sweetly urged, give me my sin again.
You kissed by the book.
Madam! Madam, your mother craves a word with you.
What is her mother?
Marry, Basil, her mother is the lady of the house.
Is she a Capulet? Dear Count, my life is my foe's debt.
Away!
Begone, the sport is at the best.
Aye, so I fear. More is my unrest.
Hey, gentlemen, we're better not to be gone. Or have a trifling foolish banquet doors. This has been so. Why then I thank you all, honest gentlemen, good night. Come on then, let's to bed.
Nurse, what is yon gentleman? Go ask his name. Oh, if he be married in my grave, is like to be my wedding bed.
His name is Romeo, and he's a Montague, son of your great enemy.
My only love, sprung from my only hate. Too early seen unknown, and known too late.
What's this? What's this?
A rhyme I learned even now of when I danced with all. Juliet!
Oh, and on and on. Come, let's array. The stages are all gone.
Now old desire doth in his deathbed lie, and young affection gapes to be his heir. That fair for which love groaned for and would die, with tender Juliet matched, is now not fair. Now Romeo's beloved and loves, again, alike betwixt from the charm of looks. But to his foe supposed he must complain, and she still loves sweet babes from fearful hooks. Being held a foe, he may not have access to breathe such vows as lovers use to swear. And she, as much in love, her means much less, to meet her new beloved anywhere. But passion lends them power. Time means to meet tempering extremities with extreme sweets.
Can I go forward when my heart is here? Come back, thou earth, and find thy center out.
Romeo! My cousin Romeo!
He is wise, and on my lie has stolen him home to bed.
Oh, he ran on this way and leaped the ocean. Oh, go, good Mercutio.
Nay, I'll conjure too. Romeo, passion, lover, appear thou in the likeness of a sigh. Speak but one rhyme, and I am satisfied. Oh, cry but I, me, pronounce but love and dove. Speak to my gossip Venus one word, one nickname for her pure blind son and heir, young Adam Cupid. He heareth not, he stirreth not, he moveth not. The ape is dead, and I must conjure him. I conjure thee by Rosalind's bright eyes, by her high forehead, scarlet lip, by her fine foot, straight leg, quivering thigh, and the demences that there adjacent lie, that in thy likeness thou appear to us.
And if we hear thee, thou wilt anger him.
This cannot anger him. 'Twould anger him to raise a spirit in his mistress' circle of some strange nature, letting it there stand, till she had conjured it and laid it down. Oh, that was some spite. My invitation is fair and honest, and in his mistress' name, I conjure only but to raise it.
Oh, come. He hath hid himself among the trees to be consulted with the humorous night. The blind is his love, and who best befits the dark?
If love be blind, love cannot hit the mark. Romeo, good night. I'll to my truckle bed. This field bed is too cold for me to sleep. Come, shall we go?
Go then, for 'tis in vain to seek him here, which means not to be found.
He jests at scars that never felt the wound. Soft, we're like three under window break. It is the east. Juliet is the sun. Arise, fair sun, and kill the envious moon, who is already sick and pale with grief, that thou, her maid, art far more fair than she. Be not her maid, since she is envious. Duel! It is my love. Oh, that she knew she were. She speaks, yet says nothing. What of that?
discourses, and I will answer it. Too old. I am too bold. It is not to me she speaks. Two of the fairest stars in all the heaven, having some business to entreat her eyes to twinkle in their spheres till they return. But if her eyes were there, and they in her head, the brightness of her cheek would shame those stars, as daylight doth the lamp. Her eyes would through the airy region stream so bright that birds would sing and think it were not night. See how she leans her cheek upon her hand. Oh, I would have wore a glove on that hand that I might touch that cheek. She speaks! Speak again, bright angel. Thou art as glorious to this night, being over my head, as is a winged messenger of heaven. Unto the white, upturned, wondering eyes of mortals that fall back to gaze on him when he bestrides the lazy pacing clouds and soars upon the bosom of the air.
Oh, Romeo, Romeo, wherefore art thou Romeo? Denied thy father, and refused thy name. Or, if thou wilt not, be but sworn my love, and I'll no longer be a Capulet.
Shall I hear more, or shall I speak at this?
But 'tis but thy name that is my enemy. Thou art thyself, though not a Montague. What's Montague? It is nor hand, nor foot, nor arm, nor face, nor any other part belonging to a man. Be some other name. What's in a name? That which we call rose, by any other name, would smell as sweet. So Romeo would, were he not Romeo called, retain that dear perfection which he owes without that title. Romeo, doff thy name, and for that name, which is no part of thee, take all myself.
I take thee at thy word. Call me beloved, and I'll be new baptized. Henceforth, I never will be Romeo.
What man art thou that dost be screened in night so stumblest on my counsel?
By a name I know not how to tell thee who I am, because my name, dear saint, is hateful to myself, because it is an enemy to thee. Had I but written, I would tear the word.
My ears have not yet drunk 100 words of that tongue's utterance, yet I know the sound. Art thou not Romeo? And a Montague?
Neither, fair saint, if either thee dislike.
How camest thou hither, tell me? And wherefore? Well, the orchard walls are high and hard to climb, and the place death, considering who thou art, if any of my kinsmen find thee here.
With love's light wings do I overperch these walls. And stony limits cannot hold love out, and what love can do dares love attempt. Therefore thy kinsmen are no let to me.
If they do see thee, they will murder thee.
I have knights cloaked to shield me from their eyes, and but thou love me. They will find me here. My life was better ended by their hate than death provoked wanting of thy love.
By whose direction foundest thou out this place?
My love first did prompt me to inquire. He lent me counsel, and I lent him eyes. I am no pilot, but wert thou as far as that vast shore washed by the farthest sea, I would adventure for such merchandise.
Thou knowest the mask of night is on my face, else would a maiden blush bepaint my cheek for that which thou hast heard me speak tonight. Oh, fain would I dwell on form, fain deny what I have spoke, but farewell compliment. Dost thou love me? Oh, I know thou wilt say aye, and I will take thee at thy word, yet thou swearest, thou mayest prove false. Gentle Romeo, if thou dost love, pronounce it faithfully, or if thou thinkst I'm too quickly won, I'll frown and be perverse and say thee nay. So thou wilt woo, but else not for the world. In truth, fair Montague, I am too fond. And therefore thou mayest think my behavior light, but trust me, gentlemen, I'll prove more true than those that have more cunning to be strange. I should have been more strange, I must confess, but that thou overheardst ere I was aware my true love's passion. Therefore pardon me, and not impute this yielding to light love, which the dark night hath so discovered.
Lady, by yonder blessed moon I vow, that tips with silver all these fruit tree tops.
Swear not by the moon, the inconstant moon that monthly changes in her circled orb, lest that thy love prove likewise variable.
What shall I swear by?
Do not swear at all. Or, if thou wilt, swear by thy gracious self, which is the god of my idolatry, and I'll believe thee.
Oh, my heart's dear love.
Well, do not swear. Although I joy in thee, I have no joy in this contract tonight. It is too rash, too unadvised, too sudden. Sweet, good night. This bud of love, by summer's ripening breath, may prove a beauteous flower when next we meet. Good night. Good night. As sweet repose and rest come to thy heart as that within my breast.
Wilt thou leave me so unsatisfied?
What satisfaction canst thou have tonight?
The exchange of vows, faithful vows for mine.
I gave thee mine before thou didst request it, and yet I would it were to give again.
Wouldst thou withdraw it? What purpose, love?
But to be frank, and give it thee again, and yet I wish for twice thee. I have! Oh, my bounty is as boundless as the sea, my love as thee. The more I give to thee, the more I have, for both are infinite. Julia! Oh, my mad, good nurse! Sweet Montague, be true. Stay but a little. I will come again.
Oh, blessed night! I am afeard that being a knight, all this is but a dream. Too flattering, sweet to be substantial.
Three words, dear Romeo, and good night indeed. If that thy bent of love be honorable, thy purpose marriage, send me word tomorrow by one that I'll procure to come to thee, where and what time thou wilt perform the rite, and all my fortunes at thy foot I'll lay and follow thee, my lord, throughout the world. I come anon! But if thou meanest not well, I do beseech thee, I come! To cease thy suit and leave me to my grief. Tomorrow will I send.
So fly of my soul.
1,000 times good night.
Oh, 1,000 times the worst to want thy light. So love goes towards love, like schoolboys from their books. Love from love, the school with lovely looks.
Romeo!
I see.
At what o'clock tomorrow shall I send her?
At the hour of 9.
I will not fail. It is 20 years till then. Oh, I had forgot why I had to call thee back.
Let me stand here till thou remember it.
I shall forget. Taffy still stand there, remembering how I loved thy company.
I'll still stay to have thee still forget. Forgetting any other home but here.
Oh, it is almost morning. I would have thee gone. I'd get no further than a wanton's grave.
And would I were thy brother.
Sweet, so would I. Oh, but I should kill thee with much cherishing. Oh, good night. Good night. Parting is such sweet sorrow that I should say good night till it be morrow.
Sleep dwell in thine eyes and peace in thy breast. Whatever peace and sleep, so sweet the rest.
drunkard reels from Fourth Base path and tightens fiery wheels. Now, ere the sun advances burning-eyed, the day to cheer, and nights dank dew to dry, I must not fill the saucier cage of ours with baleful weeds and precious juicy flowers. No, mickle is the powerful grace that lies in plants, herbs, stones, and nurture qualities. Nurture itself turns vice being misapplied. And vice sometimes by action dignified. Within the infant rind of this small flower, poison hath residence, medicine power. For this being smelt, that part cheers each part. Being tasted, slays all senses with the part. Two such opposed kings encamp them still in man as well as herbs, grace and goodwill. And where the worser is predominant, full soon the canker death suffering plant.
Good morrow, Father.
Benedicite, what early tongue so sweet saluteth me? Young son, it argues that a stempered head so soon to be marred to thy bed, and where care lodges, sleep will never lie. Or if not so, then here I hit it right. Or Romeo hath not been in bed tonight.
The last was true, the sweeter rest was mine.
God pardon sin, wast thou with Rosaline?
With Rosalind, my ghostly father, no. I forgot that name, and that name's woe.
That's my good son, but where hast thou been then?
I'll tell thee, ere thou askest me again. I have been feasting with mine enemy, when on a sudden one hath wounded me that's by me wounded, and within thy help and holy physic lie.
Be plain, good son, and homely in thy drift. Ridley confession finds but written shrift.
And plainly know, my heart's dear love is set on the fair daughter of rich Capulet. As mine on hers, so hers is set on mine, and all combined. Well, say what thou must combine by holy marriage. When and where and how we met and wooed and made exchange of vow, I'll tell thee as we pass. But this I pray, that thou consent to marry us today.
Holy Saint Francis! What a change is here! Is Rosaline, whom thou didst love so dear, so soon forsaken? Young men's love then lies not truly in their hearts, but in their eyes. Jesus Maria! What a deal of brine hath washed thy sallow cheeks for Rosaline. How much salt water thrown away in waste to season love that it doth not taste. The sun not yet thy sighs from heaven clears. Thy old groans ring yet in mine ancient ears. Lo, here upon thy cheek the stain doth sit of an old tear that is not washed off yet. And if e'er thou wast thyself and these woes thine, thou and these woes were all for Rosaline. And art thou changed? Pronounce this sentence then. Women may fall when there's no strength in men.
Thou chidest me all for loving Rosaline.
For doting, not for loving, pupil mine.
And badest me bury love.
Not in a grave to lay one in, another out to have.
Oh, I pray thee, chide not. The one that I love now doth grace for grace and love for love allow. The other did not so.
She knew well thy love did read by rote and could not spell. But come, young waverer, come go with me. In one respect I'll thy assistant be, for this alliance may so happy prove to turn your household's rancor to pure love.
Let us hence, I stand on sudden haste.
Wisely and slow, stumble that run fast.
Should this Romeo be? Came he not home tonight?
Not to his father's. I spoke with his man.
Oh, that same pale-hearted wench, that Rosaline, torments him so that he will sure run mad.
Tybalt, the kinsman of old Capulet, had sent a letter to his father's house.
Challenge on my life.
Romeo will answer it.
Any man that can write and answer a letter.
Nay, he shall answer the letter's master how he dares being dared.
Alas, poor Romeo, he is already dead. Stabbed with a white wench's black eye, shot through the ear with a love song, the very pin of his heart cleft with a blind bow boy's butt shaft. And is he a man to encounter Tybalt?
Why, what is Tybalt?
Oh, the Prince of Cats, I can assure you, he is the courageous captain of compliments. He fights as you sing prick song, keeps distance, time, proportion, a duelist, a gentleman of the very first house, of the first and second cause. The immortal Passado, the Punto Reverso, the high.
The what?
The parts of such antic, lisping, affecting fantasticos. These new tuners of accent. My Hazel, a very good blade, a very tall man, a very good whore. Is not this a lamentable thing, grandsire, that we should be thus afflicted with these fashionmongers, these pardon-amies, who stand so much on the new form that they cannot at ease on the old bench? Well, their bones.
Oh, here comes Romeo. Here comes Romeo.
Without his roe. Flesh. How art thou fishified? Signor Remier, bonjour. There's a French salutation to your French slope. You gave us the counterfeit fairly last night.
Good morrow, gentlemen. What counterfeit did I give you?
The slip, sir, the slip. Can you not conceive?
Pardon, good Mercutio, but my business was great, and in such a case as mine, a man may constrain courtesy.
That's as much to say, such a case as yours constrains a man to bow in the hams.
Meaning to courtesy.
That is most kindly hidden.
Most courteous exposition.
Nay, I am the very pink of courtesy.
Pink for flower.
Right.
Well, then is my pump well flowered.
Oh, come between us, good Benvolio. My wits fade.
Oh, switch and spurs, or I'll cry a match.
I shall bite thee by the ear for that jest.
Hey, good goose, bite not.
Was not this better than groaning for love? Now art thou sociable. Now art thou Romeo. Now art thou what thou art by art as well as by nature. For this driveling love is like a great natural that runs lolling up and down to hide his bauble in a hole.
Stop there!
Thy desirest me to stop in my tail against the hair.
Thou wouldst also hate thy tail, Lord.
Oh, thou art deceived. I would have made it sure. For I was come to the whole depth of my tail, and then indeed to occupy the argument no longer.
Well, here's goodly gear. A sail.
Two, a shirt and a smock.
Peter! Good! My fan, Peter.
Good Peter! To hide her face, for her fan's the fairer face.
What ye could borrow, gentlemen?
God ye good den, fair gentle woman.
Is it good den?
Ah, truly it is, for the bawdy hand of the dial is now upon the prick of noon.
Out upon you! What man are you?
A man, gentlewoman, that God hath made for himself to mar.
Why, my talk is well sent for himself to mar. Now, gentlemen, can you tell me where I might find the young Romeo?
I can tell you, gentlewoman. But Romeo will be older when you have found him than he was when you sought him. I am the youngest of that name for a fault of a worse.
You say well?
Nay, is the worst well? Well taken in faith. Wisely.
Well, if you please, sir, I desire some confidence with you.
Oh, she will indict him to some supper.
Aboard. Soho.
What hast thou found?
No hair, sir. Less the hair, sir, in a Lenten pie that is stale before it be spent. Romeo, will you to your father's? Will to dinner thither?
I will follow you. month.
If he speaks anything against me, I'll take him down, even if he be lustier than he is, and 20 such jacks. And if I cannot, I will find those who will. You scurvy knave! I have none of your flirt gills. I have none of your skeins, mates. And you! You stand my fool and suffer every knave to use me at his pleasure.
I saw no man use you a pleasure. If I had my weapon, should quickly have been out. Well, I warned you I'd draw as soon as another man. I see occasion in a good quarrel. And the law on my side.
Oh, God, now, I am so vexed that every part of me quivers. Scurvy knave. I pray you so, word. And as I have told you, my young lady bade me inquire you out. But you bade me say, though I will keep to myself. But first let me tell you, that if ye should lead her into a fool's paradise, as they say, it would be a very gross kind of behavior, as they say. For the gentlewoman is young, and therefore, if you should deal double with her, truly it would be an ill thing to be offered to any gentlewoman, and very weak dealings.
Commend me to thy lady, mistress. I protest unto thee.
Oh, good-hearted and faith, I will tell her so. Lord, she will be a joyful woman.
What will tell her? You dost not now mark me.
I will tell her, sir, that you do protest, and that, as I take it, is a gentlemanlike offer.
Bid her devise some means to come to Shrift this afternoon, and there she shall at Friar Laurence's cell be shrived and married. Here's for thy pains.
Truly, sir, not a penny.
Oh, go to. I say you shall.
This afternoon, sir, well, she shall be there.
And stay, good nurse. Behind the abbey wall, within the hour, my man shall be with me, and bring me cords made like a tackled stair, which to the high-top gallant of my joy must be my convoy in the secret night. Farewell. Be trusting, and I'll quit thy fame. Farewell. Commend me to thy mistress.
My mistress, she's just the sweetest lady. Lord, but she's just a prating thing. There isn't a nobleman in town, one Paris, who would fain lay night before. But she, gentle soul, may see a toad, a very toad, than to see him. I anger her sometimes when I tell her that Paris is the proper gentleman. Whatever I do, she turns as pale as a cloud in the universal world.
Farewell. I mean to thy lady.
Oh, I 1,000 times. Peter! Peter, take my fan and go before and the priest.
The clock struck 9 when I did send the nurse. In half an hour she promised to return. Now is the sun upon the hindmost hill of this day's journey, and from 9 till 12 is 3 long hours, but she has not come. Had she affections and warm, youthful blood, she would be as swift in motion as a ball. But old folks, many fain as they were dead, unwieldy, slow, heavy, and pale as lead. Oh, God, she comes. Oh, honey nurse. Hast thou met with him? Send thy man away. Peter, stay at the gates. Now and sit. Lord, my look is no sad. The news be sad, yet tell them merrily. Well, if good, then thou shamest the music of sweet news by playing it to me with so sour a face.
Oh, I am aweary. Give me leave a while. Ay, how my bones ache. Oh, the joints have I.
I would thou hadst my bones, and I thy news. They come, I pray thee, speak. Good nurse.
Say, what haste? Can you not stay a while? Do you not see that I am out of breath?
How art thou out of breath, when thou hast breath enough to say to me that thou art out of breath? Is thy news good or bad? Answer to that.
You have made a simple choice. You know not how to choose a man. Romeo! Oh, no, not he. though his face be fairer than any man's, and his leg excels all men's, and for a hand and a foot and a body, though they are not to be talked upon, yet they are past compare. He's not the flower of courtesy, but I'll warrant him is gentle as a lad. How go thy ways, wench? Serve God. Oh, what have you done at home?
No, but all this did I know before. What says he of our marriage? What of that?
Oh, how my head aches. As if it would fall into 20 pieces. Oh, and my back. Oh, my back. No, the other side. Oh, yes. Oh, be sure your heart was sending me about to do this dancing up and down.
In faith, I'm sorry that thou art not well. Now, sweet, sweet nurse, what says my love?
No, your love says, like an honest gentleman, like a kind and courteous and handsome and a warm virtuous. Where is your mother?
Where's my mother? Why, she is within. Where should she be? How oddly thou repliest. Your love says, like an honest gentleman, where is your mother?
Good lady's God, are you so hot? Mary, come up, I trow. Is this the poultice for my aching back? Henceforth, do your messages yourself.
What says Romeo?
Have you got leave to go to Shrift tonight?
I have.
Then hie you hence to Friar Laurence's saddle. There waits a husband to make you his wife. There comes the wanton blood to your cheeks. There'll be scarlet straight in any news. Now hie you to the church. I and another way must hope to fetch a ladder by which way your love must climb a bird's nest when it is dark. I am the drudge, toil in your delight, but you shall bear the burden soon as it is light. Now go. I am to dinner. Hie you to the cell.
Hie to high fortune, honest nurse, farewell.
So smile the heavens upon this holy act, that after hours with sorrow chide us not.
Amen. Amen. But come what sorrow can, it cannot countervail the exchange of joy that one short minute gives me in her sight. Do thou but close our hands with holy words, and love devouring death do what he dare. It is enough I may recall her mine.
These violent delights, violent ends, and in their triumph die like fire and powder, which as they kiss consume. The sweetest honey is loathsome in its own deliciousness, and in the taste confounds the appetite. Therefore, love moderately. Long love doth so, too swift arrives, as tardy is too slow. Here comes the lady, so light of foot, go ne'er wear out the everlasting flint. A lover may bestride the gossamer that idles in the warmth of summer air, and yet not fall, so light is her.
Good even to my ghostly confessor.
Leo shall thank thee, daughter, for us both.
As much to him, else is his thanks too much.
Juliet, if the measure of thy joy be heaped like wine, and that thy skill be more to blazing with it, then sweeten with this neighbor air, and let rich music's tongue enfold the imagined happiness that both receive in either by this dear encounter.
They are but beggars that can count their worth. If my true love is grown to such excess, I cannot sum up some of half my will.
Come, go with me, and we'll make short work, for, by your leaves, you shall not stay alone until Holy Church incorporate two in one.
sire. The day is hot. The Capulets are abroad, and if we meet, fear we shall not escape a brawl. For now, these hot days is the mad blood stirring.
What, like one of these fellows who, when he enters the confines of a tavern, claps me his sword upon the table and says, God, send me no need of thee, and by the operation of the second cup, draws him on the drawer, when indeed there was no need.
And I like such a fellow.
Come, thou art as hot a jack in thy mood as any man in Italy.
And what too,
Nay, and there were two such, we should have none shortly, for one would kill the other. Thou wilt quarrel with a man that hath a hair more or a hair less in his beard than thou hast. Yet thou wilt tutor me from quarreling.
And were I so apt to quarrel as thou art, any man should buy the fee simple of my life for an hour and a quarter.
Fee simple? Oh, simple!
By my head, the Capulet.
By my heel, I can't.
Follow me close, for I will speak to them. Gentlemen, good day. A word with one of you.
And put one word with one of us? Couple it with something, make it a word and a blow.
You shall find me apt enough for that, sir, and you will give me occasion.
Could you not take some occasion without first giving?
Mercutio, thou consortest with Romeo.
Consort! Dost thou make us minstrels? And thou make minstrels of us. Look to him nothing but discords. He is your fiddlestick. He is that shall make you dance. Swoons, consort.
We talk here in the public haunt of men. Either withdraw unto some private place and reason coldly of your grievances, or else depart. Here all eyes gaze on us.
Men's eyes were made to look, and let them gaze. I will not budge for no man's pleasure. I.
Well, peace be with you, sir, for here comes my man.
Well, I'll be hanged, sir, if you wear your livery.
Romeo, the love I bear thee can afford no better term than this. Thou art a villain.
Tybalt, the reason that I have to love thee doth much excuse the rage to such an appertaining greeting. Villain am I none. Therefore, farewell. I see thou knowest me not.
Boy, this does not excuse the injuries that thou hast done me. Therefore turn and draw.
I do protest. I never injured thee, but love thee better than thou canst devise, till thou shalt know the reason of my friendship, and so, good Capulet, which name I tender as dearly as my own, be satisfied.
Come, dishonorable, vile submission. Alustucata carries it away. Tybalt, you rat catcher, will you walk?
What wouldst thou have with me?
Oh, good king of cats, nothing but one of your 9 lives, that I mean to make bold withal, and as you shall use me hereafter, dry beat the rest of the age. Oh, come, will you pluck your sword out of his pilcher by the ears? Make haste, lest mine be about your ears ere it be out.
I am for you.
Gentle Mercutio, put thy rapier up.
Ooh. Come, sir, your pathano.
Draw, Benvolio, beat down their weapons. Gentlemen, for shame, forbear this outrage. The prince expressly has forbidden banishing blow to the street. Roll, Tybalt!
I'm hurt. A plague on both your houses. I'm spent. Is he gone and have nothing?
What? Art thou hurt?
There, it is a scratch. It is enough. Go, villain. Catch a surgeon.
Courage, man. The hurt cannot be much.
It's not so deep as a well. We'll so wide as a church door. It is enough. It will serve. Ask for me tomorrow, and you shall find me a grave man. I am peppered, I warrant, for this world. Plague on both your houses. Swords, a dog, a rat, a mouse, a cat to scratch a man to death. Why the devil came you between us? I was hurt under your arm.
I thought all for the best.
Help me into some house, Benvolio, or I shall faint. Plague on both your houses. They have made worms meat of me. I have it. Suddenly to your houses.
This man, the prince's near ally, my very friend, hath got his mortal hurt in my behalf. My reputation stained with Tybalt slander. Oh, Tybalt that an hour has been my kinsman. Juliet, thy beauty hath made me effeminate, and in thy valor softened valor's steel.
Romeo! Romeo! Brave Mercutio's dead. That gallant spirit has inspired the clouds which do untimely near destroy the earth.
This day's black fate on more days doth depend. This but begins the woe, others must end.
Oh, here comes the furious devil back again!
Life in triumph, and Mercutio slain. Away to heaven respective lenity, and fire-eyed fury be my conduct now. Tybalt, take the villain back again that late thou gavest me. For Mercutio's soul is but a little ways above our head, staying for thine to keep him company. Either thou, or I, or both must go with him.
Thou wretched boy that didst consort him here shall whip him hence.
It shall determine that. I am fortune's fool.
Why dost thou stay?
Which way ran he that killed Mercutio? Tybalt, that villain, which way ran he?
There lies that, Tybalt.
We're the wild beginners of this fray.
Noble prince, I can discover all the unlucky manage of this fatal brawl. There lies the man, Romeo's hand and slay that slew thy kinsman, brave Mercutio.
My cousin! My brother's child! Oh, the blood is spilled! My dear kinsman! Prince! Hast thou won true for blood of us, shed the blood of Montague?
Benvolio, who began this bloody fray.
Tybalt, here slain whom Romeo's hand did slay. Romeo that spoke him fair. Bade him to think how nice the quarrel was, and urged with all your high displeasure. All this uttered with gentle breath. Calm look, knees, humbly bowed, could not take truce with the unruly spleen of Tybalt. Deaf to peace, but that he tilts with piercing steel at bold Mercutio's breast, who all his heart turns steadily point to point, and with a martial scorn sends it back to Tybalt. Romeo, he cries aloud, all friends, friends part! And swifter than his tongue, his agile arm beats down their weapons and twixt them rushes. Underneath whose arm an envious thrust from Tybalt hit the life of stout Mercutio. And then Tybalt fled. By and by comes back to Romeo, who had but newly entertained revenge, and to it they go like lightning. For ere I could draw to part them was stout Tybalt slain. And as he fell did Romeo turn and fly. This is the truth. Or let Benvolio die.
He is kinsman to the Montague! Affection makes him false! He speaks not true! I beg for justice, which thou, prince, must give. Romeo killed Tybalt, and Romeo must not live!
Romeo slew him! They slew Mercutio! Who now the price of his dear blood doth owe?
Not Romeo, Prince. He was Mercutio's friend. His fault concludes but what the law should end. The life of Tybalt.
For that offense, immediately we do exile him hence! I have an interest in your hate proceeding. My blood for your rude brawl doth lie bleeding. But I'll amerce you so strong a fine that you all shall repent the loss of mine. I'll be deaf to pleading and excuses, nor tears nor prayers shall purchase out abuses, therefore use none. Let Romeo hence in haste, else when he's found, that hour is his last. Bear hence these bodies and attend our will. Mercy but murders, pardoning those that kill.
Gallop apace, you fiery-footed steeds. Bring in cloudy night immediately. Oh, come night, come Romeo, come thou day and night. For thou would lie upon the wings of night, whiter than new snow on a raven's back. Come, gentle night, come, loving black-browed night, give me my Romeo. And when he shall die, take him and cut him out in little stars, and he will make the face of heaven so fine. All the world will be in love with night and pay no worship to the garish sun. Oh, here comes my nurse. Now what news? What hast thou there? The cords that Romeo bid me fetch.
Aye. The cards.
What news?
The lack of day. He's dead. He's dead. We are undone, lady. We are undone.
And heaven be so envious.
Romeo can, though heaven cannot. Romeo. Whoever would have thought it, Romeo?
What devil art thou that dost torment me thus? Hath Romeo slain himself?
I saw the mark here on his manly breast.
Oh, break my heart.
Oh, Tybalt, the only friend I had. Oh, courteous Tybalt, honest gentleman, if I should live to see thee dead.
What storm is this that blows so contrary? Is Romeo slaughtered and is Tybalt dead?
Tybalt is gone. Romeo is banished. Romeo that killed him, he is banished.
Oh God. Did Romeo's hand shed Tybalt's blood?
It did.
Serpent-hearted within a flowering face. Or did ever dragon keep so fair a cave? Oh, that deceit should dwell in such a gorgeous palace.
There is no faith, no trust, no honesty in men. All perjury, all forsworn, all not, all dissemblers. These griefs, these woes, these sorrows, they make me old. Shame come to Romeo.
Blistered be thy tongue for such a wish! He was not born to shame! Upon his brow shame is a shame to sit! What a beast was I to chide at him!
Would you speak well of him that killed your cousin?
Shall I speak ill of him that is my husband? What tongue shall smooth thy name when I, thy 3 hours wife, have mangled it? Wherefore, villain, didst thou kill my cousin? That villain cousin would have killed my husband. Back, foolish tears. My husband lives. The Tybalt would have slain. And the Tybalt's dead. That would have slain my husband. Oh, this is comfort.
Romeo. Banished. That banished, that one word, it banished, that slain 10,000 Tybalts. Romeo is banished. Oh, to speak that word is father, mother, Tybalt, Romeo, Juliet, all slain, all dead. Where's my father and my mother, nurse?
Weeping and wailing over Tybalt's corpse. Will you go to them? I will bring you thither.
Wash they his wounds with tears. Mine shall be spent when theirs are dry for Romeo's banishment. Take up those cords. Oh, poor Rose. You are beguiled, both you and I. For Romeo is exiled. He made you for a highway to my bed. But I, a maid, die maiden widow. Come, nurse. I'll to my wedding bed, and death. Romeo, take my maiden head.
Hie you to your chamber. Romeo will be here to comfort you tonight. I wot well where he is. Now hark ye. Romeo will be here tonight. Out to him. He is hid in Laurence's cell.
Find him, and give this ring to my true knight, and bid him come to take his last farewell.
Romeo! Romeo! Romeo, come forth! Romeo! Romeo, come forth! Come forth, thou fearful man!
Father, what news? What is the prince's doom?
Too familiar is my dear son with such sour company. I bring you tidings of the prince's doom.
What? Less than doomsday is the prince's doom.
For judgment vanished from his lips, not body's death, but body's banishment.
Banishment? Merciful? Say death. For exile hath more terror in his look, much more than death. Do not say banishment.
Hence, from Verona art thou banished. Be patient, for the world is broad and wide.
There is no world without Verona walls, but purgatory, torture, hell itself. Calling death banishment, thou cuts my head off with a golden axe, and smilest upon this stroke that murders me.
O deadly sin! O rude unthankfulness! Thy fault our law calls death, but the kind prince, taking thy part, hath rushed aside the law and turned that black word death to banishment. This is dear mercy. Thou seest it not.
'Tis torture, and not mercy. Heaven is here, where Juliet lives. And every cat and dog and little mouse, every unworthy thing may look here in heaven, and may live with Juliet. But Romeo may not. But Romeo may not. He is banished, and they are free men, but I am banished. And sayest thou yet that exile is not death? Hast thou no sharp ground knife, no poison mitts, no sudden mean of death, but banished to kill me too? Banished!
Thou fool, mad man, hear me but speak a word.
Oh, thou wilt speak again of banishment.
I'll give thee honor to keep off that word. Adversity's sweet milk. Philosophy to comfort thee though thou art banished.
Oh, banished! Hang your philosophy! Unless philosophy can make a Juliet and his planet down, or reverse the prince's doom, it helps not! It prevails not! Talk no more! Thou canst not speak of that thou dost not feel. Wert thou as young as I, Juliet I love, and I were but married. Sybil murdered. Then mightest thou speak.
then mightest thou tear thy hair out, and fall upon the ground as I do now, taking the measure of an unmade grave.
I swear not. Good Romeo, hide thyself.
Oh, not I. Unless the breath of heartsick groans mist-like and float me from the surge of
Hark how
mine.
they knock. Who's there? Romeo, run to my study. By and by, what simpleness is this? I come. Whence come you? What's your will?
Let me in and you will know my errand. I come from Lady Juliet.
Welcome then.
Holy Friar, tell me, Holy Friar, where is my lady's lord? Where's...
Here on the ground, with his own tears made drunk.
It is even so in my mistress's case. Just so in her case. She lies weeping, blubbering and weeping. Well, stand up! Stand up! Stand and be a man! For her sake, for Juliet's sake, stand and rise! Why must you fall into so deep an hole?
Lord! Oh,
Oh, sir. Oh, sir. Oh, death is the end of all.
speakest thou, Juliet? How is it with her? Does she not think me an old murderer? Where is she? How doth she? What says my concealed lady to her cancelled love?
She says nothing, weeps and rises and then falls down again. And then Tybalt calls. Not Romeo cries and falls down again.
Oh! As if that name shot from the deadly level of a gun did murder her. That hand's cursed name did murder her kinsman. Tell me, Friar, tell me, in what vile part of this anatomy doth my name lodge? Tell me that I may check
Art thou a man? Thy form cries out thou art, thy tears are womanish. Thy wild acts denote the unreasonable fury of a beast. Unseemly woman and a seeming man, an ill-beseeming beast and seeming both. Thou hast amazed me. By my holy order, I thought thy disposition better tempered. Hast thou slain Tybalt, and wilt thou slay thyself? And slay thy lady too that lives within thee by doing damned hate upon thyself, killing that love thou hast vowed to cherish. Thy wit, that ornament to shape and love is misshapen in the conduct of them both. What? Rouse thee, man. Thy Juliet is alive, for whose dear sake thou was but lately dead. There art thou happy. Tybalt would kill thee, but thou slewest Tybalt. There art thou happy. The law that threatened death becomes thy friend and turns it to exile. There art thou happy. A pack of blessings lights upon thy back. Happiness courts thee in her best array, but like a misbehaved and sullen wench, thou poutest upon thy fortune and thy love. Take heed. Take heed. For such die miserable. Oh. Get thee to thy love as was decreed. Ascend her chamber, hence, and comfort her. But look that thou stay not till the watch be set, for then thou canst not pass into Mantua, where thou shalt live, until we can find a time to blaze your marriage, reconcile your friends, beg pardon of the prince, and call thee back with 20,000 times more joy than thou wouldst forth in lamentation. Go before nurse, commend me to thy lady, and bid her hasten all the house to bed, which heavy sorrow makes them act unto. Romeo is coming.
Do so, and if thy sweet prepare to chide.
Yes, sir. A ring my lady bid me give you. Now make haste, for it grows very late.
All my comfort is revived by this.
Get you gone, and here stands all your state. Either be gone before the watch be set, or by break of day disguise from hence, sojourn in Mantua. I'll find your man, and he shall signify from time to time every good hap to you that chances here. Give me thy hand. 'Tis late. Farewell. Good night.
Joy past joy calls out on me. Were a grief so brief to part with thee. Farewell.
Things have fallen out so unluckily that we have had no time to move our daughter. Look you, she loved her kinsman Tybalt dearly. So did I. Well, we were born to die. 'Tis very late, she'll not come down tonight.
These times of woe afford no time to rule. Madam, commend me to your daughter.
I will. And know her mind early tomorrow. Tonight she is mute up in her heaviness.
Sir Paris, I will make a desperate tender of my child's love. I think she will be ruled in all respects by me. Nay, more, I doubt it not. Wife, go you to her ere you go to bed, and acquaint her here of my son, Paris's love, and bid her mark me on Wednesday next. What's off? What day is this?
Monday, my lord.
Monday? Oh, well, Wednesday is too soon. On Thursday, let it be. Thursday, tell her she shall be married to this noble earl. So will you be ready? Do you like this haste? I will keep no break of you, a friend or two. For hark you, with Tybalt being slain so late, it may be thought that we held him carelessly, being our kinsman, if we revel too much. There were some half a dozen friends in there and then. But what say you to Thursday?
My lord, I wish that Thursday were tomorrow.
Oh, look at you gone. On Thursday, be it.
Tiptoe on the misty mountain tops. I must be gone and live, or stay and die.
Gunlight is not daylight, I know it,
No.
It is some meteor that the sun exhales to be this night a torchbearer, and light thee on thy way to Mantua. Therefore stay yet, thou needest not to be gone.
Let me be taken. Let me be put to death. I am content, so thou wilt have it so. I say, yon grey is not the morning's eye. 'Tis but a pale reflex of Cynthia's brow. For that is not the lark whose notes do vault aloft the heavens so high above our heads. I have more care to stay than will to go. Come, death, and welcome! Juliet wills it so. How is it, my soul? Let's talk. It is not day.
It is. Why hadst begone away? Oh, it is the lark that sings so out of tune, straining harsh discords and unpleasing sharps. Some say the lark makes sweet division. This doth not so, for she divideth us. Now be gone, more light and light it grows.
More light and light, more dark and dark our woes.
Nurse!
Lady Mother is coming to your chamber. Morning has broke. Beware we look about.
The window let day in and let life out.
Farewell. Farewell. One kiss and all this end.
Art thou gone so, love lord? I, husband, friend. I must hear from thee every day and the hour, for in a minute there are many days. Oh, by this count I shall be much in years ere I again behold my Romeo.
I will omit no opportunity to convey my greetings there.
Thinkest thou we shall ever meet?
Oh, I doubt it not. These well shall serve as sweet discourses in our time.
running soul. Methinks I see thee now thou art below as one dead in the bottom of the tomb. Either my eyesight fails or thou makes me feel.
And trust me, love, in my eyes so do you. Dry sorrow drinks our blood. Adieu. Adieu.
Fortune. Fortune! All men call thee fickle. If thou art fickle, I hope thou wilt not keep him long, but send him back.
Oh, daughter! Are you up?
Who is it that calls? Oh, is it my lady mother? Is she not down so late or up so early? What unaccustomed cause procures her hither?
Why, how now, Juliet?
Madam, I'm not well.
Evermore weeping for your cousin's death. Wilt thou wash him from his grave with tears? And if thou could, thou could not make him live. Therefore have done. Some grief shows much of love, but much of grief shows still some want of wit.
Yet let me weep for such a feeling loss.
And so you feel the loss, but not the friend which you weep for.
Feeling so, the lost cannot choose but ever weep the friend.
Well, thou weepest not so much for his death, as that the villain lives which slaughtered him.
What villain, madam?
That same villain, Romeo.
Villain, would he be many miles asunder? God pardon him, I do with all my heart. Yet no man like he doth grieve my heart.
That is because a traitor never lives.
I, from the reach of these my hands, would none but I might venge my cousin's death.
Oh, we will have vengeance for it, fear thou not. Then weep no more. I shall send for one in Mantua, where that same banished renegade does live. Shall offer him such an unaccustomed drag, that he shall soon keep Tybalt company. Then I hope thou wilt be satisfied.
Indeed, I never shall be satisfied. Madam, if you could but find a man who would bear a poison, I would temper it that Romeo should, upon receipt thereof, soon sleep in quiet.
Find thou the means, and I will find such a man. But now I bring me joyful tidings, dear.
His joy comes well in such a needful time. What are they, I beseech your ladyship?
Well, thou hast a careful father, dear, one who, to ease thee from thy heaviness, has sorted out a sudden day of joy, that thou expectest not, nor I look not for.
Madam, in happy time, what day is that?
Marry, my child, early next Thursday morn, the gallant, young, and noble, the County Paris, and St. Peter's Church shall make me a joyful bride!
Now by St. Peter's Church and by St. Peter too, he shall not make me there a joyful bride. Oh, I wonder at this haste that I must wed ere he that should be husband comes to woo. I pray you tell my lord and father I will not marry yet, and when I do, it shall be to Romeo, whom you know I hate, rather than marry Paris. These are news indeed.
Here comes your father now. Tell him so yourself, and see how he takes it in your hands.
No, still in tears. How now, wife, have you delivered to her our decree?
Aye, but she'll have none. She gives you thanks. I would the fool were married to her grave.
Soft. Take me with you. Take me with you, wife. How? Will she not? Does she not keep us thanks? Is she not proud? Does she not count herself blessed? Unworthy as she is, that we have brought so worthy a gentleman to be her bridegroom.
Not proud you have, but thankful that you have. Proud can I never be of what I hate, but thankful even for hate that is meant love.
Oh now, chop logic! What is this proud? And I thank you, and I thank you not. Oh, and yet not proud, mistress, with you. Thank me no thankings, no proud me no prouds, but fettle your fine joints against Thursday with Paris to St. Peter's Church. All right. I will drag thee,
No! You understand! It's but a speech of the word!
The young baggage! You disobedient wretch! Tell me what get thee to church on Thursday, or never after. Look me in the face. Oh, speak not, reply not, do not answer me. Oh, my fingers itch.
Why, we scarce thought us blessed that God had lent us but his only child. But now I see that this one is one too much. And then we have my lady wisdom, hold your tongue.
I speak no treason.
Not ye good dead.
No, I'll speak.
Peace, you mumbling fool. Utter your gravity or gossip fool. God's bread, it makes me mad. Day, night, hour, time, work, play, alone, in company, still my care hath been to have her matched. Now, provided a gentleman of noble parentage, proportioned as one's thought would wish a man. Oh, and then to have a wretched, puling fool, a whining mammoth in her fortune's desert to answer on my friend. I cannot love, I am too young. I pray you pardon me. But as you will not wed, I'll pardon you. Graze where you will, you shall not house with me. Look to it! See to it I do not use to jest! Thursday is near. Lay hand on heart, advice, and you be mine. I'll give you to my friend. You be not. Hang, beg, starve, die in the street. But by my soul I shall never acknowledge thee. No, what is mine shall never do thee good. Trust to it, but think you, I will not be forsworn!
Oh, is there no pity sitting in the clouds that sees to the bottom of my grief? Oh, sweet my mother, cast me not away. Delay this marriage for a month, a week. Or if thou wilt not, make the bridal bed in that dim monument where Tybalt lies.
Talk not to me, for I will not speak a word. Do as thou wilt, I have done with thee!
Nurse, how shall this be prevented? Hast thou not a word of joy? What sayest thou? Some comfort, nurse!
Here it is. Romeo is banished, and all the world to nothing that he ne'er come back to challenge you. And if he do, needs must be by stealth. And as the case stands as it now doth, I think it best that you marry with the county. Oh, he's a lovely gentleman. Romeo's a dishclout to him, an eagle man. An eagle had not so green, so quick, so fair an eye as Paris hath. Be sure, my heart, I think you are happy in this second match, for it excels your first. And if it did not, your first is dead. But were as good he were, as living here, and you no use of him.
Speakest thou from thy heart?
And from my very soul, too. Or be sure them both.
Amen.
What?
Well, thou hast comforted me marvelous much. Go in and tell my lady mother I have gone, having displeased my father, to Laurence's cell, to make a confession and to be absolved.
Harry, I will. And this is wisely done.
Ancient damnation! You're most a wicked fiend! Oh, is it more sin to wish me thus forsworn, or to dispraise my lord with that same tongue which ye hath praised him with above compare so many thousand times? Go, counselor! Thou and my bosom henceforth shall be twain. And to the friar, to know his remedy. If all else fail, myself have power to die.
On Thursday, sir, the time is very short.
My father Capulet will have it so, and I am nothing slow to slack his
You
haste.
say you do not know the lady's mind. Uneven is the course, I like it not.
Moderately she weeps for Tybalt's death, and therefore have I little talked of love. For Venus smiles not in a house of tears. Now, sir, her father counts it dangerous that she doth give her sorrow so much sway, and in his wisdom hastes our marriage to stop the inundation of her tears, which, too much minded by herself alone, may be put out from her by society. Now do you know the reason of this haste?
Would I knew not why I should be slowed. Her looks are resolute for herself.
Happily met, my lady and my wife.
That may be so when I may be your wife.
That may be must be love on Thursday next.
It must be shall be.
It's a certain text.
Come you to make confession of his father.
To answer that I should confess to you.
Do not deny to him that you love me.
I will confess to you that I love him.
Sully, I am sure that you love me.
If I do so, it would be of more price being spoke behind your back than to your face.
Oh, Sully, thy face is much abused with tears.
Tears have got small victory by that, but it was bad enough before their spite.
Thou wrongest it more than tears with that report.
It is no slander, sir, which is a truth, and what I speak it to my peace.
Thy face is mine, and thou hast slandered it.
Maybe so, for it is not mine own. Are you at leisure, holy father, now? Or shall I come to you at evening mass?
My leisure serves me, pensive daughter, now. My lord, we must retreat the time alone.
God shield, I should disturb devotion. Juliet, on Thursday early I shall rouse ye. Until then, adieu, and keep this holy kiss.
Shut the door. And when thou hast done so, come weep with me past hope, past care, past help.
Juliet, I already know thy grief. It strains me past the compass of my wits. I hear thou must, and nothing may prorogue it on Thursday next, be married to this count.
Oh, tell me not that thou hearest of this, unless thou tell me how I may prevent it. If in thy wisdom thou canst give no advice, do thou but call my resolution wise, and with this knife I'll help it presently. God joined my heart and Romeo's, thou our hands, and ere this hand by thee to Romeo sealed shall be the label to another deed, or my true heart with treacherous revolt turn to another, this shall slay them both. Be not so long to speak. I long to die if what thou speakest speak not of remedy.
Hold, daughter, I do spy a kind of hope, which craves as desperate execution as that is desperate which we would prevent. If, rather than to marry with this county, thou hast the strength of will to slay thyself, then is it likely thou wilt undertake a thing like death, to chide away the shame that Koeppel of death himself to escape from it. And, if thou darest, I'll give thee her.
Bid me leap rather than marry Paris from off the battlements of yonder tower.
Oh, you may. Give consent to marry Paris. Wednesday is tomorrow. Tomorrow night, look at thou lie alone. Let not thy nurse lie with thee in thy chamber. Take now this phial, being then in bed, and this distilled liquor, drink thou off. When presently through all thy veins shall run a cold and drowsy humor, or pulse shall keep his native progress, surcease, no warmth, no breath shall testify thy lips. The roses of thy lips and cheeks shall fade to pale ashes, thy eyes' windows fall like death when he shall set the day of life. Each part, deprived of supple government, shall stiff and stark and cold appear like death. And in this borrowed likeness of shrunk death, thou shalt continue 42 hours, and then awake as for a pleasant sleep. Now, when the bridegroom in the morning comes to rouse thee from thy bed, there art thou dead. Then, as the manner of the country is, in all thy best robes and covered in the bier, thou shalt be born in that same ancient vault where all the kindred of the Capulets lie. In the meantime, against thou shalt wake, shall Romeo by my letters know our drift, and hither shall he come, and he and I will watch thy waking, and that very night shall Romeo bear thee hence to Mantua.
Give me.
Hold. Go home and be strong and prosperous in this resolve. I'll send a friar with mantra with speed, my letters to thy lord.
Oh, give me strength. The strength shall help afford. Farewell, dear Friar.
Some guest invite is here already. Go, God. What? Is my daughter gone to Friar Laurence?
Aye, forsooth.
Well, he may chance to do something good on her. A peevish, self-willed harlotry it is.
Look where she comes from, shrift with merry look.
How now, my headstrong? When have you been gadding?
Where I have learned me to repent the sin of disobedient opposition to you and your behests. Pardon, I beseech you. Henceforward, I am ever ruled by you.
Send for the county! Go tell him of this. I'll have this knot knit up tomorrow morning.
I met the youthful lord at Laurence's cell, and gave him what becomes love I might, not overstep the bounds of modesty.
I'm glad of it. This is well. Stand up. Oh, this is as it should be. Oh, let me see the county. I, Mary, go forth, I say, and fetch him hither. Oh, now, before God, this reverend holy friar. Oh, our whole city is much bound in him.
Nurse, would you go with me into my closet to help me sort such needful ornaments as you think fit to furnish me tomorrow?
Not till Thursday, this time enough.
Oh, go, nurse, go with her. We'll to church tomorrow.
We shall be shortened of provisions. 'Tis now near night.
Tush. Go sort about, and all things shall be well, I warrant thee, wife. Go now to Juliet and help to deck up her. I will walk myself to County Paris and help prepare him up against tomorrow. Oh, my heart is wondrous light, since this same wayward girl is so reclaimed.
Aye, those attires are best. And I pray you let me now be left alone, for I have need of many prayers to move the heavens to smile upon my state, which well thou knowest is cross and full of sin.
What were you busy? How need you might help?
No, madam. I pray you let me now be left alone, and have the nurse this night sit up with you, for I am sure you have your hands so full all in this sudden business.
Night then. Get thee to bed. Rest.
For thou hast need. Farewell. God knows when we shall meet again. I have a faint cold fear thrills through my veins and almost freezes up the heat of life. I'll call him back to comfort me. Nurse! What should she do here? My dismal scene I needs must act alone. Come, vile. What if this mixture do not work at all? Shall I be married then tomorrow morning? No. No. This shall forbid. Lie thou there. What if it be a poison which the friar subtly hath ministered to have me dead, lest in this marriage he should be dishonored because he married me before to Romeo? And my fear it is. Yet methinks it should not. For he hath still been tried, a holy man. How if when I am laid into the tomb, I wake before the time that Romeo come to redeem me. Oh, there's a fearful things. Shall I not then be stifled in the vault to whose foul mouth no healthsome air breathes in, and there die strangled ere my Romeo comes? Or if I live, is it not very life, horrible conceit of death and night, together with the terror of the place where bloody Tybalt, yet but green in earth, there lies festering in his shroud? Whereas they say at some hours of the night, spirits resort. Romeo, this do I drink to thee.
Stir, the second cock hath thrown. The curfew bell rung, 'tis 3. Oh, 'tis 3 o'clock. I'll look to the bed. Meats, good Angelica, spare not for the past.
Mistress! What, mistress? Juliet! Well, fast asleep I warned her, she. I need to wake you up. Lady! 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 What a day that ever I was born! She's dead! My Lord! My lady!
What noise is this?
Lamentable day!
What is the matter?
She's dead! Like the day!
Me?
Oh, me! My child! My only life! Revive! Or I will die with thee,
Shame, bring Juliet forth. The Lord is come.
She's dead!
Let me seek her out. She is cold. The blood is settled and the joints are stiff. Life and these lips have long been so great.
Have I thought so long to see this morning's face? I thought they'd give me such a sight as this.
Trust the flattering truth of sleep. My dreams presage some joyful news at hand. Yet my lady came and found me dead. She breathed such life with kisses on my lips that I revived and was an emperor. Oh, me. How sweet is love itself possessed when but love shadows are so rich in joy. Oh, news from Verona. How now, Balthazar? Dost thou not bring me letters from the friar? How does my lady? Is my father well? How fares my Juliet? That I ask again, for nothing can be ill if she be well.
She is well. Nothing can be ill.
Ah!
Her body sleeps in Capulet's monument. And her immortal part with angels lives. Saw laid low in her kindred's vault. And presently took post to tell it you. Oh, pardon me for bringing such ill news, since you did leave it for my purpose.
It's even so.
And I defy you, stars.
Thou knowest my logic. Give me ink and paper, and hire post horses straight. I will hence tonight.
I do beseech you, sir, have patience. Your looks are pale and wild, and to import some misadventure.
Hush. Thou art deceived. Go. Do the thing I bid thee do. Hast thou no letters to me from the friar?
Oh, my good lord.
No matter. Get thee hence, and hire those horses. I will be with thee straight. Well, Juliet, I will lie with thee tonight.
Holy Franciscan Friar, brother, ho! Same sweet voice of Friar John. Welcome from Mantua. What says Romeo? Or in his mind, be ready to give me his letter.
Going to find a barefoot brother, one of our order to associate me here in the city visiting the sick, and finding him. The searchers of the town, fearing that we both were in a house where the infectious pestilence did reign, sealed up the doors and would not let us forth, so that my speed to Mantua there was stayed.
Who bear my letter then to Romeo?
None could. Here it is again. Nor could I get a messenger to bring it thee, so fearful were they of infection.
Fortune. By my brotherhood, the letter was not nice, but full of charge of dear import. And the neglected it may do much danger. Friar John, go hence. Get me an iron crow and bring it straight into my cell.
Brother, I'll go and bring it thee.
On the side of the monument alone. Within these 3 hours with the fair Juliet wake. She will assure me much that Romeo has had no notice of these accidents. But I will write again to Mantua and keep her close at my cell till Romeo come. Poor living corpse, closed in a dead man's tomb.
Do you remember an apothecary? What ho! Apothecary!
Who calls so loud?
Come hither, woman. I see that thou art poor. Hold. Here is 40 ducats. As we have a dram of poison, such soon speeding gears will disperse itself throughout the veins, that the life-weary taker may fall dead, and that the trunk may be discharged of breath as violently as hasty powder fired doth hurry from the fatal cannon's womb.
Such mortal drugs I have, but Mantua's law is death to any he that utters them.
Art thou so bare and full of wretchedness, and fearest to die? Famine is in thy cheeks, need and oppression starveth in thine eyes, contempt and beggary hangs upon thy back. The world is not thy friend, nor the world's law. The world affords no law to make thee rich. Then be not poor, but break it, and take this.
My poverty, and not my will, consents.
I pay thy poverty, and not thy will.
Put this in any liquid thing you will, and drink it off. And if you had the strength of 20 men, it shall dispatch you straight.
Here is thy gold. The worst poisons to men's souls, doing more murders in this loathsome world than these poor compounds that thou mayest not sell. Farewell. Buy food and get thyself in flesh. One cordial, not poison. Go with me to Juliet's grave. There I must use thee.
May that torch, boy, hence. Stand over.
out, for I will not be seen. Under yond yew trees lay thee all alone, holding thine ear close to the hollow ground. So shall no foot upon the churchyard tread, being loose, unfirm with digging up of graves. Thou shalt hear it. Whistle then to me as a signal doth something approach. In those flowers, do as I bid thee go.
I am almost afraid to stand here alone in the churchyard, yet I will adventure.
Sweet flower, flowers thy bridal bed I strew. Well, thy canopy is dust and stones, which with sweet water nightly I will do, and wanting that, tears distilled by moans. The obsequies that I for thee will keep nightly shall be to strew thy grave and weep. The boy gives warning something doth approach. Cursed foot wanders this way tonight. To cross my obsequies and true love's right? What, with a torch? Muffle me night a while.
Hold. Take this letter. Early in the morning, see that thou deliver it to my Lord and Father. And upon thy life, whatever thou hearest or seest, stand all aloof, and do not interrupt me in my course. Why I descend into this bed of death is partly to behold my lady's face, but chiefly to take thence from her dead finger a precious ring, a ring that I must use in dear employment. Therefore hence, be gone.
I will be gone, sir, and not trouble you.
So shalt thou show me friendship. Live and be prosperous. Farewell, good fellow.
All this same, I'll hide me hereabout. His looks I fear, and his intents I doubt.
Thou detestable maw, thou womb of death, gorged with the dearest morsel of the earth. Thus I enforce thy rotten jaws to open, and in despite I'll cram thee with more food.
Stop, iron hell of toil, vile Montague! Can vengeance be pursued further than death? Condemned villain, I do apprehend thee. Obey. Go with me, for thou must die. I must indeed.
And therefore came I hither. Good gentle youth, tempt not a desperate man. Fly hence, leave me, I beseech the youth. Put not another sin upon my head by urging me to fury. Oh, be gone! By heaven, I love thee better than myself. For I came hither armed against myself. Be gone. Live, and hereafter say, man's mercy bade thee run away.
I do defy thy conjurations, and apprehend thee for a felon here.
Wilt thou provoke me? Have at thee.
Oh Lord, tonight! I'll be called what?
I am slain. Thou be merciful. Lame youth, Juliet.
In faith I will.
Good night.
What said my man when my betrothed soul did not attend him as we rode? I think he told me Paris should have married Juliet. Said he not so? Or did I dream it so? Or am I mad hearing him speak of Juliet to think it so? Give me thy hand. One writ with me in sour misfortune's book. I'll lay thee in a triumphant grave. A grave? Oh no. A lantern slaughtered youth. For here lies Juliet. And her beauty makes this vault a feasting presence full of light. Death! Lie thou there, by a dead man interred. Death, that has sucked the honey of thy breath, hath had no power yet upon my beauty. Thou art not conquered. Beauty's ensign yet is crimson in thy lips, in thy cheeks. Tybalt! Liest thou there in thy bloody sheet? Forgive me, cousin! And that the lean-aboard monster means to keep thee here in death to be his paramour. Huh? For fear of that, I still will stay with thee, and never from this palace of dim night depart again. Oh, here will I set up my everlasting rest, and shake the yoke of inauspicious doors from this world-weary flesh. Eyes, look your last. And arms, take your last embrace. And lips, oh, you the doors of breath, seal with a righteous kiss to engrossing death. Come, bitter comrade. Come, unsavory guide. Here's to my love.
What is this which seems the stone entrance of the sepulchre? Paris too, and steeped in blood. What unkind hours guilty of this lamentable chance? The lady stirs.
Comfortable Friar. Oh, where's my lord? Where's my Romeo?
There's some noise. Lady, come from that nest of death, contagion and unnatural sleep. A greater power than we can contradict hath thwarted our intents. Come, away. Thy husband in thy bosom there lies dead, and Paris too. Come, I'll dispose thee among a sisterhood of holy nuns. Stay not to question, for though hear the watch is coming, I dare no longer stay.
Go get thee hence! I'll not be gone! Away! What's here? Cup close to my true love's hand. Poison I see hath been his timeless end. What a girl! Drunk all and left no friendly drop to help me after. I will kiss thy lips. Haply some poison yet doth hang on them to make me die with the restored. Their lips are warm.
Lead, boy, which way?
Do that I'll be brief. Oh, happy dagger! This is thy sheath. They're rusted. And let me die.
This is the place there where the torch doth burn.
Ground is bloody. Search about the churchyard. Go, some of you. Whoever you find, attach.
Sight. Here lies the county slain. Juliet bleeding? Long dead.
Who have lain here these 2 days buried? Go to the prince. Run to the Capulets. Raise up the Montagues. Some other search. See the ground whereupon these woes do lie. But the true crowns of all these piteous woes we cannot without circumstance describe.
Here's Romeo's man. Found him in the churchyard.
Stay until the prince come hither.
Here's a friar that trembles, sighs, and weeps, who is coming from this churchyard side.
A great suspicion. Stay the friar too.
Ah, what misadventure so early up that calls our person from our morning's rest?
What should it be that they shriek so abroad?
The people in the street cry Romeo and some Juliet and some Paris. And all run with open outcry towards our monument.
Oh, what fears this which startles in our ears.
Stopper. Here lies the County Paris slain. Romeo dead. And Juliet warm and new killed.
Search, seek, and know how this foul murder comes.
Here's a friar that slaughtered Romeo's man.
Heaven's wife, look how our daughter bleeds.
Come, Montague, for thou art early up to see thy son and heir more early down.
Alas, my liege, my wife is dead tonight. Grief of my son's exile hath stopped her breath. What further woe conspires against mine age?
Look, and thou shalt see.
Oh, Todd! What manners is it this? To pass before thy father to a grave?
Seal up the mouth of outreach for a while till we can clear these ambiguities and know their spring, their head, and their true descent. And I'll be general of your woes, and lead you even to death. Meantime, forbear. Bring forth the parties of suspicion.
I am the greatest, able to do least. time and place doth make against me in the style for murder. So here I kneel, both to impeach and purge, myself condemned and myself excused.
Then say it once without us knowing this.
Romeo there dead was husband to that Juliet. I married them, and their stolen marriage day was Tybalt's doomsday, whose untimely death banished the new-made bridegroom from the city, for whom, and not for Tybalt, Juliet pined. And if aught in this miscarried by my fault, let my old life be sacrificed under the rigors of severest law.
We still have no need for a holy man. Where's Romeo's man? What can he say in this?
I brought my master news of Juliet's death, and that in post he came from Mantua to this same place, to this same monument. This letter he early bid me give his father. Going in the vault, I departed not and left him there.
Sirrah, what made your master in this place?
He came with flowers to strew his lady's grave, and bid me stand aloof, and so I did. Anon came one with light to ope the tomb, and by my master drew on him. And then I ran away to call the watch.
Where be these enemies? Capulet, Montague, see what a scourge is laid upon your head! That heaven find me to kill your choice with love! And I, for winking at your discords too, have lost the brace of kinsmen. All are punished.
Brother Montague, give me thy hand. This is my daughter's jointure, for no more can I demand.
But I can give thee more, for I will raise her statue with pure gold, that while Verona by that name is known, shall no figure in such rate be set as that of true and faithful Juliet.
As rich shall Romeo's by his lady's lie. For sacrifices of rent.
A glooming peace this morning with its brings. The sun, for sorrow, will not show his head.
Go hence, and have more talk of these sad things. Some shall be pardoned, and some punished.
For never was a story of more woe than this of Juliet and her Romeo.